about today's matches?
Yeah, yesterday was fast, to say the least, and definitely a roller coaster, especially that Aerial Rise and Mirage game. I am also very intrigued by the Night Haven here. There's, again, two schools of thought. It's either Luminosity have been saving this for a moment where they need it most, which would be right now, as we said all day yesterday, and will continue to say today. The last chance qualifier is single elimination, so it's do or die. They are all best of threes, but if you lose a series, it's lights out on potentially your entire 2023 season. Now, Nighthaven is interesting. They might have saved it. Luminosity, they might have just maybe worked on it for like the last couple of weeks or week or so and thought, this will be our new map that we're starting on. It's a tough one. I think SSG as well starting on the defense. This is going to be a very interesting start for Luminosity. We saw a lot of attacks yesterday be less than optimal. So I'm hoping that trend does not continue over. And I think for Space Station here, starting on the defense, just getting into a good groove on Nighthaven. We still don't have an entire setup in terms of a storyline on whether it's defender-sided or attacker-sided. There's been games where it's been pretty 50-50. There's been games where it's been extremely defender-sided so far this stage. So I'm interested to see how these teams shake out. The attacking bands as well, losing the Ying and the Dokkaebi. I do like that. I think it's going to make for some more methodical and less chaotic attacking rounds.
Right, you don't have the opportunity to shortcut any of these attacks, something that Luminosity will have to deal with right away, as that is where they will be kicking off on their very own map pick. No Candelas to throw in there to explode onto the site and avoid maybe dealing with some of that utility or dealing with some of the off-site pressure that SSG are no doubt likely to bring. So as these teams begin to feel each other out in these first few rounds, that, I think, Flynn, is where we're going to start to get a better understanding of what kind of Nighthaven labs we are in for. Because while we may have seen this map 6 times over the course of the closed league portion of the North American League, that's not a ton of information. That's not the largest sample size to really give us a good idea of what this map can hold. And as we've already mentioned, we have yet to see Luminosity take anybody to this map in any context so far, including fighting through the open qualifier playoffs, including in the closed league portion of the NA League. So this one will be fun, and we'll get to see exactly what Luminosity want to bring to the table as they're starting off on the attacking side and have a chance to start to set the pace and set the tone of what kind of map we're in for. Already you can see that map control is likely on their mind as they have spawned in, well, just about every different spawn location around this map and are all just beginning to take the steps to get into the building.
Yeah, the Thatcher being left open is going to mean that there's not going to be a whole lot of focus on denying the hard breach, and you can see triple hard breach coming out from Luminosity to start things off, so they want every option available to them. Houghton has constructed himself quite the maze here in Garage Rafters, but like I said, triple hard breach, everything is going to be opened up here for Space Station, so their methodology appears to be spread across the map as much as possible to maintain other places of power that will be able to affect the round later once these hard breaches get opened up by Luminosity. They seem to be doing a very good job of that so far. Luminosity, for the most part, getting their hard breaching done, but as I say that, J9 will be the first one to fall an upside-down rappel from Silent on the IT breach. So Houghton will persevere inside of the Garage Rafters, but no one really from Luminosity making their way into the building as of yet.
You see them trying to feel out this defense, see exactly what SSG are trying to throw at them. A good early start, though. There's no doubt about that. That's 2 for Silent. First J9O, then Hot and Cold. Now Fultz and Ashen are both done for. Silent with 3 of those 4 kills. And Forrest is the last man standing. Twist looking to get this diffuser down, and he will be able to do that without much issue. Silent on the coverage, trying to maybe do a little too much, will eventually go down, but Twist will finish it off, and Luminosity will set the tone and do it well.
Yeah, very impressive attacking round there for Luminosity, displaying a lot of good patience. I imagine that getting peeked from an upside down rappel in the IT breach for, I think, 2 picks there from Silent was not the opener that SSG imagined having that round. And a top floor defense unsuccessful is a little rare, honestly. The basement seems to be the most defender-sided site on this map thus far. Top floor seems to be in the middle ground, and then when you go down to storage, it seems to be 50-50 these days. So, oh, we're actually going to get a kitchen defense. This is the 4th bomb site on the map that very rarely ever gets played in competitive. I think this is honestly like this was the 2nd or 3rd site in ranked when the map first came out, but for competitive, this is a very rare site to see kitchen.
Yeah, tough one to defend, as are many bomb sites that have windows that you can just vault in, that have really easy access points to the exterior of the map. And, well, thank you, our observer, for highlighting this perfectly. A window right into the A bomb site, right into kitchen. There's also the hatch right into the pantry that allows easy access to the site. Of course, risky to make those moves as an attacking team because the defense is usually going to be ready and wary of somebody working their way in from that direction, but an opportunity nonetheless. Luminosity here, though, are clearly trying to do something a bit more surprising. They're bringing out the double shield from both Twist and Eddie.
Yeah, we got a Blitz and a Montaigne coming out. Very, very aggressive strategy in through lobby, and gonna make holding this deployable shield a nightmare for Houghton, and Silent will dispatch of his position in tandem with the frag grenades. Ashen still playing above the lobby stairs. Could come for a flank that could be pretty devastating if Luminosity aren't aware of this. Seems to be pedal to the metal here, and Ashen, as he stands up, will eventually grab Silent, as no one for Luminosity was aware, but Eddie makes his way into kitchen. He's got the diffuser in hand as the Blitz could be going for the plant here momentarily. Forrest still preoccupied elsewhere, so no one apparently for SSG aware of the positioning, and no, nobody on the bomb side, as Eddie will fake out a plant. The impacts come flying in, and Fultz will go rushing into the freezer, but here comes the Blitz point blank, knifing away the shield. Fultz has to scramble and hit the deck, and he will die, but all of Eddie's friends are perishing elsewhere. Eddie alone now in the bomb site, stranded as Snake is trying to work his way back in. The Blitz with the diffuser, unable to get a plant down, being swarmed by SSG members now.
And this is how shield plays can go. They're high risk, high reward, and now Eddie, well, he is in the riskiest position that you're ever gonna find. Forrest, he's been finished off by Snake now, and this has equalized into a 2v2 and gets more dangerous for SSG since we are in this post plant, but a well-placed Kiva barrier. Ashen gonna stick this, using that protection, and he gets the job done. A perfect application of utility and a clinical retake to tie us up.
Beautiful recovery there for Space Station, surrendering the bomb site early, but just playing for retake the entire time. And for Luminosity there, unfortunate that they just kind of skipped a couple steps. Didn't have enough intel on Ashen playing the top of lobby stairs. Didn't have enough intel on who was on the bomb site and how to support Eddie once he got in with the case. So just an eager attacking strategy there for Luminosity does not prevail, and see a very rare kitchen defensive win coming out from Space Station to level things up. It's a pretty good response to a near flawless round from Luminosity on their first attack.
I like the confidence at which SSG played that as well. Luminosity, they really pulled out all the stops with the double shield, and SSG, they just didn't seem to mind. Like you had mentioned, Flynn, they chose to intentionally play for a retake scenario. And in Siege, that is so high risk. It is so hard to get a good retake going. But SSG, they had the utility, they had the plan in mind, and they executed it to perfection. Now, we go downstairs to the site that we may have expected to see a little bit earlier on this defensive side, but as their third site of choice, this is a powerful one, to say the least.
So heading downstairs, this would be a good position for SSG to pivot with and try and get on a bit of a roll here on the defense. It's a very clinical round for the first one for Luminosity on the attack, not really having to enter into the building to acquire opening picks and never really losing control of the round. See here for Luminosity, map controls again, a great concern. The Space Station have spread themselves pretty far out amongst the map. Eddie with the diffuser on the ram as well, will be the first one into connector to try and push in for some top floor control. And the Soulless of Fultz will not be droned. He will be droned eventually. And Fultz will have to peel off the position. Rattling of bullets behind him, and he's got to impact open a castle barricade as well. So the setup there not allowing for an easy fall off of Fultz. Now some soft destruction will be allowed here for the boogie drones up in IT to get some 2-floor per soft destruction going on. They'll be able to open up an IT and then open the floorboards down below in storage to be able to see all the way down into the bomb site.
And that's just the perfect application of that boogie drone and a great use of the RAM to start off this round number 3. Now you've got a lot more vision onto that ground floor, a lot more opportunities to spot out those rotations and deal with them accordingly. Silent will do that, eliminating Forest early on, but quickly traded back as SSG are not going to be out of this fight early. Snake, however, tacks on one more, and Eddie already securing this diffuser means that J90 and Action need to rotate back to the site, which they have already abandoned prematurely. It's 3 for Silent, another for Eddie, and a clean round for Luminosity Gaming.
Beautiful round there again. So a little bit of a hiccup under the kitchen defense, just skipping some steps for Luminosity on the attack, but they get right back on things under control there on the attack towards the basement site. And again, just a lot of the opportunities afforded to them off the bomb site. A lot of roaming potential there for Space Station, and again, playing more in a retake position, but Luminosity reading that out quite well on the round and being able to insert themselves into the bomb site with a little bit more of a plan of action this time around. I think right now for Space Station, this is a bit of a concern. Things are starting to unravel on bomb sites that are pretty standard, and your only win so far is on kitchen. Getting a little concerning here, as I imagine on paper, most people, this is the 4th bomb site we try now for storage and control coming out for Space Station. I imagine this is a bit of a shock. On paper, I would imagine most people thought that Space Station were the favorites in this matchup heading in, but Luminosity, even playing all the way from the open qualifier playoffs after their placement in group stage, they are still a team that can put on some pretty impressive performances when required.
5 seconds to go.
Well, they've proven that in the closed league portion of the NA League. They had only 2 victories and 2 very narrow victories, both in overtime. But one of them was against the Sonics. It was 8-7 on Oregon. Sonics would go on to win the whole thing, qualify for the Atlanta Major. This is a team that, while had a lackluster performance overall, an 8th place finish out of 9, they can perform in certain situations, and they have done it before. This could be one of those situations where they start to click and they can get into that position simply where they can thrive. Again, we're only 3 rounds in. There is a lot of siege left to play here. So SSG, they'll be looking to match this score line of Luminosity here with their 4th site in the rotation down in storage and control. Up above, again, SSG are trying to maintain that map control and extend to the top floor. Forest is able to get a lot of damage onto the feet of Snake, who is now at just about 1 HP.
You can see Asian hitting a goo mine, jumping in for a solo entry into kitchen. So it seems like this one Kaid Claw and the positioning of Forest topside is providing a headache here. As Eddie will jump into the fray, Ashen will get one. It's a flurry of trades up in the rafters, but it's J90 persevering and maintaining that top control. The Snake still on a sliver of health. It's an advantage for Space Station to be had, and there goes the swing with the M590 to drop Silent. So what's left of Snake and Asian will have to fight out of a 2v3. Entries from opposite sides of the map, just trying to get some kind of control. The entry in for Asian here, not spotting a target as of yet. He will see the rotation, but miss every shot onto Houghton. He's able to rotate to safety. Into the break room now, and this is a very tough spot to be in for Asian, as again, Snake is in no man's land in a different area code. Asian still holding for anyone to rotate inside the bomb site. Snake slowly making his way back towards Asian so they can group up and work together as a team. Houghton on a bit of a flank, and he will peek, as will J90. And Space Station getting their footing on the defensive side on 2 bomb sites you wouldn't necessarily expect them to.
Well, it's very clear that Space Station have a defensive scheme in mind, and that is simply spread out all over this map and keep that control for as long as you can. And Luminosity in that round kind of walked right into it. That's one of the strengths of that storage objective, is it really does force the attacking teams to deal with that roaming presence. And if there's somebody on the top floor, if there's somebody trying to play up above an IT or on catwalk and keeping an eye towards that main garage entryway, you've got to deal with them. You cannot just sit idly by and let them maintain that control for as long as they want, because right there, like we saw it, when you try to walk in that garage wall, there's almost nothing you're going to be able to do if there is somebody up above, if there's somebody around the close corner with a shotgun. Well done by SSG to force Luminosity to play that SSG style of game here.
10 seconds remaining.
And that's why they were able to find a round win with that play.
5 seconds left.
Yeah, I think for Luminosity and the attacks towards Kitchen and then to storage and control, they just did not look like they had the same kind of structure that the other two attacks have towards command and server upstairs and attacking into the tank and the bomb site downstairs. Like, the attacks for Luminosity on those two sites that SSG have been successful in defending just seemed very off-tempo. They did not seem like there was much coordination. Everyone was just trying to find a place to be and try and find success from there, versus the two attacking rounds that they've won towards the top four in the basement thus far have been pretty impressive and pretty measured, and it seems like there's actually some coordination and a few steps on a checklist to be hit. So Luminosity maybe just not having the reps in on attacking those bomb sites. Like I said, getting a kitchen bomb site in competitive these days, like in this stage so far, is very rare. It's not a bomb site that gets pulled out very often unless the team is struggling mightily. So I think for Luminosity, just showing that they have many more reps towards top four basement attacks as opposed to these middle floor
Stinger
bomb
tracks
sites.
released.
Well, entering up above, that's Asian looking to make his first move. Silent, who has been deadly on the entry so far, 3-0 up to this point, will be looking to do the same thing. Early map control here for Luminosity, established without much trouble, thanks to SSG, for the first time playing a lot more site focused. We don't see anyone on SSG taking a position on the ground floor or on that top floor. All five sit down below and ready to pounce on these attackers entering up above. Beautiful C4 from Ashen. That's a nice kill on to Eddie. And guess who is taking off the board here? The man who you know is going to need to heat up in this game if Luminosity want to have some success. Thankfully, Silent is still alive. That fragging power and that utility that the Ram brings to the table is still on the board. But Luminosity, I'm not going to say their backs are against the wall, but this is going to get real awkward if they're not careful.
Okay, Forrest trying to put down a mirror in towards EXO, but two members for Luminosity have made it their way down the EXO stairs. Snake going towards the storage stairs as well, and Twist still occupied with a hatch on the Maverick. So everyone for Luminosity doing their own thing once again, which has not been as conducive to success in previous rounds. There goes another Nitro Self soaring from J90, as again, this intel with the cardiac sensor. There goes the Maverick taking apart the hatch. So it's Asian and Snake on opposite sides of the map once again, working their way down each stairwell towards the bomb site. But in a 2v4, still a lot to work out of here. No more Nitro Cells to be worried about. The Valkyrie cameras and the cardiac sensor and the bulletproof camera from the Colts all still in play. Great shot there from Asian, though, as he turns his way into the bomb site from EXO. But an immediate trade out there from Cotton leaves Snake topside recovering the diffuser and alone as the time will tick away against him. The clock is about to strike midnight on Snake in a 1v3 as he tries to push his way in through EXO into the bomb site. But no one's going to give him the fight, and the timer will run out. And there goes Space Station again, proving their ability to stay down on the bomb site and not needing to roam to find success.
Yeah, a very important round for SSG overall, I think, because, like you said, it shows us that both of these strategies are going to work. They've showed us a lot of different things so far. Namely, I would argue you could put them into three categories. You had the pretty heavy extension and map control focus. You have the anchor focus, which we just saw there in round number 5. And then we also saw their retake approach, which ended up working. So showing some of that versatility that a team like SSG, you know that they have well-practiced and a very well-experienced team. That's the kind of thing they can bring out from time to time, and it makes it so difficult to win attacking rounds against them. Luminosity may have started off strong, but SSG have since taken the momentum and now taken the lead, securing 2 rounds in a row. But back to Kitchen we go here, Flynn, and this one is curious because last time we were here, we saw Luminosity with the double shield play and really go for it all. As you can see by their attacking lineup, they are not going to be doing the same thing here. So I'd imagine we are in for a very different Kitchen attack overall.
Attackers are moving to defuse the bomb.
It looks like, for the most part, the defense is very similar here for Space Station. You've got Houghton playing underneath the lobby stairwell. with that overhang with the deployable shield once again. That was dispatched of quite quickly for Luminosity on their take through lobby. They just hadn't done any droning towards Ashen at the top of the lobby stairs, and this time it looks like Asian will be gathering some intel onto this lobby stair balcony. So this is a much better job here, as Ashen is positioned just outside that meeting room wall. And J90 is here for support, so the second Reparo will go in, and see Luminosity here trying to take more of a top-down approach as opposed to flooding into the bomb site, having to contend with all of the retaking defenders. Although, as I say that, here comes Twist once again with the bomb after popping the freezer hatch. He's got bomb outside the kitchen window. This could be another rush for Luminosity.
This is why Kitchen is so scary, because even when it feels like you are secure as a defensive team, at any time Luminosity could jump on in, and here they go. Twist looking to get this diffuser down uninterrupted and unimpeded. That's going to be a success. Now Eddie, his job is to deny the retake. That initially will fail, as Fultz will get the first. But a quick trade equalizes and should give Luminosity a fighting chance. It's going to be dicey though. SSG are moving in quite aggressively, but Twist, he's gone unnoticed. Good shot by Action to turn that one around. Upside down rappel though, that is simply perfect. Another late Kiva barrier saved for this moment, but it's not blocking off the entirety of that window. And Asian from behind, he should have free roam of this. Forrest is not going to be able to get this one done. And SSG, this should be a successful retake. Asian, it's going to come so close, but Luminosity take it by a hair.
Oh, baby, what a round. What a round to end the first half. So we've got the Nitro Cell, I believe, from Forest to the kitchen window for the upside down repeller, but it deleted the other defender for Space Station who was actively counter diffusing. So it was a 1-for-1 Nitro, and then Forest milliseconds away from being able to stick the counter defuse himself, as Flores was just way too far away in terms of being able to have purview over the diffuser. So in very narrow round, and I'll be very honest, that could have gone either way. It looked like Space Station once again on their retakes looking very good, but once again, yeah, Asian just too far away. But Forrest, I'll be honest, I don't know what the timer got to before he got pulled off there and the round ended. It was a Luminosity victory just by the skin of their teeth, though. Those retakes for Space Station, while they weren't always successful, they have looked pretty decent so far.
Yeah, I don't know all the confusion in the end there. I may have said SSG win the round. It came that close that it was so hard to tell. It looked for a moment like he would have gotten that diffuse off, but it was Luminosity who succeeded in that kitchen attack. So they tie us up at 3-3. My God, what a chaotic end to that one. You had the Nitro Cell kill on the window, but he ended up killing himself as well. Oh gosh, what a chaotic end to an otherwise, well, I would say chaos-free round, but that would not necessarily be true. That's Kitchen. That's Kitchen for you. It can devolve into a mess like that rather quickly. So Luminosity, now they will shift over to the defense, maybe looking to put SSG into a similarly messy bind here as they look to defend the storage and control site. One that we don't see too much, but when we do, as we talked about earlier, top floor control and that roam are going to be the keys to success for any defensive team.
Yeah, and you can see Space Station putting an immediate priority on re-grabbing this top floor control, trying to displace all these anchors with mirror windows and Kiva barriers. And just like Houghton had fashioned for himself in the garage rafters, it's the Izami of Silent on Luminosity's side. Built himself a fortress of Kivas inside those rafters, make it nigh impossible for any of the attackers to grab purview onto him, get an easy shot, and this is one of the most challenging positions to be in, as Fultz will take a handful of damage outside a connector. He'll turn her aim back towards the top of the meeting hallway, and Snake just barely gets away. Asian applying pressure now onto Houghton, as Luminosity have no intentions of giving up this top floor as of yet. Silent again, looking for even more on the turn. The 9x19 claiming victims left and right, and Luminosity in full control top side.
Yeah, 2-3 kills now for Luminosity, and SSG, whatever they were hoping to get done, has been immediately shut down. Now they're staring at a mirror window, hoping to just brute force their way into this top floor. It'll work at least for a moment for Fultz as he finds one, but he is now out of luck, well, and out of HP. It's just Ashen. And a quick swing from Eddie will get the job done there. No problem. A clean round for Luminosity through and through. They retake the lead.
4-3 lead here. The first round on the side swaps and Luminosity back in control. And like you said, starting out with storage and control, not the most common routine, but this match appears to be anything but common given the map and the teams at play. So for Luminosity, a very good start on what I would consider to be the tertiary bomb site. It still has yet to really play all the way out and have a confirmed site rotation in terms of the meta on this map, but silent, beautiful plays up top inside of the garage rafters, and that top floor control never really even messed with in terms of space station. They just could not get a footing to open up in towards server from connector, and really from there it was a nightmare just trying to push in through doorways against mirror windows and key barriers. Just not enough of that utility from the defensive side taken away from their ability to play those positions. So Luminosity sitting pretty, feeling comfy, and they're going to run it back top floor on the bomb site this time in server.
10 seconds left before insertion.
Yeah, SSG looking to bounce back from that one as they head into their second attacking round here.
Out to defuse a bomb.
Snake maybe hoping to deny it. A quick little jump out to see if he can spot anyone over on that north side. That will not be the case. He's going to have to do this one the old-fashioned way by working his way around the map itself. Maybe not by running outside and looking for a couple of spawn kills. They are going to have to be wary of Forest, though. Much like we saw from Luminosity on their attack, SSG trying to keep things interesting. We've got the Blitz coming out, the flash shield in Forest's hands. So watch out for that one. Snake should be able to get a read on this here, at least as he tries to pin down where this entry is coming from, but Hot and Cold might just spot him around the other side. Knowing he's there, SSG likely to be quite careful of how they proceed.
Ashen very quickly trying to ascertain the positioning of the defender playing in rafters, and he's going to quickly learn that there's no one here. The keeper barriers are set up, but they've completely reinforced off the triple wall now to barricade that mirror window even further. So rafters control very early. SSG able to work their hard breaching in against that mirror window, and here comes Forrest on the back flank from the top of Aqua. Seems like Fultz as well is trying to position himself to get in towards server. So there goes the breach into connector. Twist his nitro cell. Might be the only thing suspending Space Station from running straight into the bomb site. The nitro cell gets shot, and here comes Forrest up against the deployable shield now. It's 2 for Ashen instead, and Forrest will be dropped. The peek around the corner at the top of Aqua. It's 2 more quick frags for Space Station. Snake alone on the retake from Aqua as well. All the action taking place at the top of this poor stairwell, but it's Space Station who obliterate the bomb site and level the score.
Yeah, it all happens in Aqua Hall. The round basically started and finished in the very same position. Wow, that C4 getting shut out was critical for SSG. Maybe a millisecond later, and at least 1, if not 2 of them were going to be blown sky high or very low on HP for the remainder of the round. A good shot. That's what the time in the aim labs will do for you. Quick flicks and yeah, well-placed crosshair to get the job done and keep their hopes alive in that moment, and then allowing them to go on and just run roughshod over the rest of that LG defense. And we talked a lot about, you know, the Solus on the roam early and Snake maybe trying to deny the entry in the early round. Instead, his impact potentially only came in the late round. He found that kill onto J90, but was unable to get anything else done since the site had already been abandoned.
10 seconds to go.
Well, the good news is here, at least if you're a fan watching or a fan of either of these teams, I suppose, these seem to be a little more competitive games than we had yesterday. A couple of blowouts yesterday got us through nice and quickly. I think we're looking for some more entertaining quarterfinal matchups, and this is certainly delivering thus far. Space Station and Luminosity back and forth and back and forth. No one able to get on a run here, and it looks like Space Station want to up the tempo and go immediate, just like Luminosity had in terms of their breach downstairs. Not gonna worry about a retake. You see Luminosity is almost 4. There are 4 defenders off the bomb site. It's just Twist on the Mira playing downstairs for Luminosity. The breach gets opened up. Might just be Space Station now, but no, here come the smokes, here comes Forrest, here comes the flood into the bomb site, and Forrest unable to get the plant down as he drops the diffuser in the bomb site, worrying about the holes above him.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I mean, Asian's got a very good view of this. Even the smokes haven't obscured that.
Attackers have dropped
There
the
are
bomb
2
diffuser.
C4s, make it 3 C4s to worry about. So a couple of kills might just be able to alleviate that pressure. Ashen, much like round number 8, will start this one off strong. But SSG, right on the precipice of potentially executing into the bomb site, at least for a moment, have taken a step back.
Defender exposed.
Dangerous, though, because Snake's going to take advantage of that opportunity. Now, knowing where this attack is coming from, an easy kill onto J90, and he's looking for more. Ashen is right outside the very same window. And Snake, whether he gives up this position or not, has done his job beautifully, wasting time and already taken one of these attackers off the board.
Good recovery there for Snake, as it seemed he had spotted someone with the Solus HUD on a drone outside, but an unfamiliarity with where that staircase was outside. He went to turn the corner and realized that's too far of a run. This is not a viable jump out. Got back inside after being detected, and J90 tried to capitalize on that mistake, but Snake with a good recovery levels up the man count at a 4-4. Now Fultz pushing his way into the bottom of Garage, looking down and towards Anubis, and now Forrest has made his way all the way into the bomb site against the Mirror's Twist is being flashed out. And the plant was being started, initiated by Hot and Cold, but he will pull off in the attempt of a bait to get Twist to swing. He does so, but now it's everyone on the bomb site for Luminosity following Snake, and Silent trying to retreat towards the bomb site now. Silent inside of Exo has a Montaigne in his face, now has to play against his own team's mirror window. It's just Snake dropping into Anubis, now down into Tank in a 1v3 against the Montaigne. The plant not going down, but it won't be necessary. Fultz will shut down the return of the Solus, and it's Space Station putting 2 together in a row.
Yeah, another great round where we can look at a couple of things there, and I want to focus on 2 different aspects of that round. First, let's talk about Snake again for just a moment. Same exact outcome between the previous round and that one. Caught off site for too long, and by the time he got back, the site control had been sacrificed. Maybe something he's just going to want to adjust in the mid-round here. Rotate back just a little bit sooner. Try to support the team on the site, because even if you can get a kill like he did in this early moment, in the early round, you need to be able to contribute in the late game, and that has not happened for 2 rounds in a row. But more so, SSG displayed a perfect adaptation in the middle of that round. Arguably, at the very start of that round, they got the wall open. They had a chance to go for the defuse plant, but they saw the holes in the ceiling above. They assessed the situation, and they said, you know what? It might just be a little too risky if we try to get this done right now. They made a smart call. They backed off, they took their time, and they started to clear that top floor, freeing up those options and making their life a lot easier.
Pretty sure as well with that fake plant attempt from Forrest early on against the breach, that had forced a rotation. I believe it was Asian as well, and I'm fairly certain it was Ashen who got the opener on the Buck last round as well, from someone on Luminosity trying to rotate back to the bomb site in response to a call from Twist on site, being the only one there looking out a mirror window against a Montaigne and smokes being deployed. It's one of those situations like, guys, I need help. Somebody come back. And it was a good call out there. It was a good fake out there for Space Station if that was the intention. You can see Forrest had dropped the diffuser in the bomb site, so I don't know if he was actually trying to go for a plant or if it really was just a fake out. But either way, Space Station adapt well throughout the round and able to read out the positioning of Luminosity, very similar to their own defensive stance, so probably an easier read than most. And now for Luminosity, not trying to run it back topside, not trying to run it back downstairs, we now go to storage and control to see if Luminosity can get some footing in this round, or Space Station start to take the lead as Forrest will get the opener onto Silent, and even calls him his own progeny. That is tough. Forrest starting out strong in the round and in all chat.
Yeah, Silent, again, he's been having a crazy game so far. 12-9. No one else coming close in terms of LG kills. But not having the same success that he has had on the entry game like we saw in the first few rounds of this map. The first 3 rounds, it was Silent, Silent, Silent. The first kill on the entry. Well, he's been quiet for quite some time, and he's going to be the first dead in round number 10. Not a recipe for Luminosity's success, even on an objective that they did have some success on last time. So SSG, they now have a little bit more control here. Still going to be patient, droning out just about everything before they work their way in. You see Ashen and Fultz now grouping up top to take care of some of these reinforcements, and see what they can do about forcing these defenders out of position. The Flores drone will accomplish that, but Twist, he is not going to give up this position easily. He'll pop up and take care of Ashen just like that.
Very, very confident swing there from Twist, and it works out, and not even doing it with the shotgun, which he did have the option to do so, but the SMG-11 works just as well. A headshot is still a kill in this game, no matter what weapon you're using. Now, Fultz trying to re-aggress into the situation, but he's lost his partner in crime. He's lost Ashen, and Houghton now flanked from the top of Aqua Stairs. Trying to work in tandem. Snake and Eddie both haven't vacated the position inside a command center. This is a strong power position to be a hold of, and there goes the red pings. Fultz will get one onto Snake, turning the corner for even more. Fultz seemingly powered up now, but a third one will arrive. Twist once again, the savior for Luminosity, flanking up the stairs, but now he's the last man standing. He's going to do battle with the Flores drone coming down the stairwell, and will instead ascend the stairs, being cut off here from Forrest outside the window on the roof. So no immediate access for Space Station in towards the bomb site, but Twist between a rock and a hard place. Just that SMG-11. He'll have to collect all 5 rounds, or all 5 kills in this round to get the ace to clean it up, and now he'll have to do it in a 1v3 on 1 HP, avoiding the storage door, and actually going to go all the way back around in towards control, sorry. Pushing in now, pulling out a legion of goo mines now. Houghton trying to get the plant down, turning the corner. Twist will not find the head of J9, and it's Space Station to put us on map point on map number 1.
God, Fultz is really just a different animal when he gets going. I mean, he's playing the Thermite, and he is still the one to get into the site first and get some of the most critical kills in the round. I mean, he's known to be one of the clutchest players of all time. I mean, I think in the last 10 matches, he is leading the team in 1vx's. He's got 5 1vx's to his name. And that wasn't a 1vx situation. That wasn't like a do or die clutch, but the impact of the 2 kills he found in the mid round there cannot be underscored enough. It was going fine. They had gotten early entry, but things had slowed down. And when Fultz made his move, he got 2 kills and really just opened things up for SSG, essentially single-handedly giving the attack the site control they needed and forcing Luminosity into a retake situation. Just so clutch. That's textbook work from Fultz, and it's textbook that has now set SSG up onto map point.
Okay, I'm going to try and do some mental math. So excuse me if this goes horribly wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is the first 2-round lead of the entire game.
Attackers are heading out to defuse the bomb.
Yes, you're correct.
Nailed it. Okay, sweet. This is what I mean, though. It's a back-and-forth contest, and both of these teams seem to be firing on all cylinders on the attacking side on Nighthaven Labs. Eddie going to be looking to return the damage that Forrest had done early on in the round. Last round, there goes the Nitro Cell, but the Thatcher of J90 will definitely avoid it. That's a good position to be in here for Space Station, knowing that one of the 2 Nitro Cells available to the defense have been taken off the board. Twist taking a little bit of damage as well. Imagine that was just from Forrest's Twitch drone as he's trying to pop the mirror. Think of anything else that would do that little damage. So Forrest not off to the same hot start he had in round number 9, or round number 10, sorry. And Houghton trying to push in from the far side of the bomb site. You can see the frag grenades being brought out. It has been a rarity so far in this map. The frag grenades just not having as much of an impact as we would usually see.
In terms of overall utility from both teams in this 11th round, it's been kind of misses on both sides. We saw a C4 wasted, but the same can be said for Forrest and his Twitch drones. He did not find much use for those whatsoever. So again, right now, this back and forth is a bit more utility focused here, at least through the first almost 90 seconds as we approach that minute 30-second mark here. But this is just about when SSG are going to look to get things going. The Selma charges down on the mirror window, and an impact trick that will miss is going to force Asian into an awkward spot. But Snake will start things off well for Luminosity, just playing his role to perfection, at least in this round. And it's going to come down to if he can get away scot-free. Hot and Cold can't track him down. Snake is on the prowl, and he will be a threat for later. Ashen, though, has equalized, and he is looking to find one more. He knows he's got someone trapped in the corner, but he misses his opportunity, and Luminosity, they are not going to give up this control easily. They are fighting tooth and nail for this.
Yeah, Twist trying to hold on towards the top aqua push from Houghton. Here comes the knock, but Houghton will win it out against Silent. Got another one to his hard left, and another one sprinting in front of Mash and gets one. Another one for Houghton. And once again, it's the Solus of Snake. Alone off the bomb side, he has to impact his own deployable shield. Again in the middle of a 1v3, and he'll finally clean up what was left of Houghton after they did battle previously. Now Snake trying to bait out the shots in a 1v2. The plant's going down. It's just a 1v1 against J9, but he will win it out, and Space Station will take the first map of Nighthaven away from Luminosity.
Snake gets himself in trouble in the exact same spot once again, and it is very clear that it was not a fluke, but a troubling pattern that has emerged. SSG lead by 1 as we go into their map pick of Skyscraper coming up next.